Hey student, if you forget what you learn very easily, if you have problems remembering, memorizing the words, this video is for you. I'm gonna give you 3 tips to help you stop forgetting the information, the lessons you study in English. So stay with me until the end, because I have even prepared a bonus tip for you, okay? If you don't know me very well, I am Teacher Prix, and I'm going to help you talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime in English. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because every week I prepare amazing English lessons to help you become a better and more confident English speaker. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much. It is an honor for me to have you here. You know what to do. Hit the like button and share this lesson with a friend. Oh yeah, stop forgetting. Now, big disclaimer. The tips I'm going to give you here are based on science, okay? They are brain-based ideas to help you memorize information. The second disclaimer, this does not mean you will memorize all the words in English. This will never happen because we're humans. You're not a computer. Don't expect to remember everything. Third, these tips are only going to work if you use them when you're studying, okay? So it's very important to use what you learn, okay? I always tell people here, to learn a lesson, I must use it. I always rub my hands when I say this. To learn a lesson, I must use it. So stay with me until the end, and after that, use what you learn here, okay? So here we go, pre-intermediate level. Here, if you don't know me so well, these are the students I help, okay? I help students who are in transition. Why? They are not advanced and go anywhere, anytime, but they are not completely beginners, okay? They know some English, they understand teachers like me, but they are at a transition and they need help. And I'm here to help you guys. So at this level, you will begin to learn more complex words, more complex structure. The conversations will be longer, the phrases will be longer, and that's when you start to feel like, wow, I can't remember anything. Everything is so complicated now. When in reality, it's just that the level of activities you're doing, phrases, structure, grammar, vocabulary, reading, they are increasing in level of difficulty. It's natural. Okay, there are longer texts, longer audio files. So you need to prepare yourself for that. And here at this level, we really need to use our imagination, our creativity. Maybe you think, oh, but teacher, I'm not creative, okay? But you will need to exercise that. You will need to exercise your memory muscle. Think of your ability to remember information as a muscle. For the boys, usually boys like that very much. If you want to have big biceps, dun, 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 dun. If you want to have big biceps, what do you need to do? You need to go to the gym consistently and work on your arms. Your diet needs to change. You need to do other things combining with your workout practice. So you exercise this muscle, okay? So you make it bigger and stronger. Girls, the legs, if you like arms, so be it, no problems. So the same thing with your vocabulary, your memory muscle. We need to work on it. And the more technology you use, the more difficult it'll be to exercise your memory muscle, okay? Now, guys, the first tip based on science that I'm gonna share with you is have a better encoding. Almost like a computer, you know, have a better encoding. Do you work with computers? Let me know in the comments, okay? Do you work with computers encoding things? You know, that's kind of cool. Now, guys, what's that supposed to mean? It means that you need to pay enough attention. According to scientists and researchers, people nowadays have bad encoding. So you need to improve that. And how do you do it? According to Daniel Schatter, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, I'm sorry. He is a professor of psychology at Harvard University. You tend to forget information if you don't focus on it when studying. And when you were studying, you were probably thinking of something else. So your brain did not encode the new information safely, wisely, in a smart way, efficiently. So this is what happens when you're studying, but you're chatting with people. You're studying and you're checking emails, you're texting, you're doing all these other things. It's very complicated to study. So this basically means that you have to pay complete attention if you want to learn and memorize. So if you get distracted with phone, text messages, Instagram feed, emails, food, if you're eating, okay, food is also one that will impact. This happens to me. If I am eating, forget it. I'm going to be, oh, this is good. I'm not going to study. So when I am studying and I'm hungry, I stop studying, I have my snack, and then I go back to studying. Otherwise, if I am here, I'm like, this is so good. And the teacher, focus, okay? That's what the professor from Harvard is saying. Complete attention. This will improve your encoding. And the other tips will help you with this encoding. So I'm first giving you a bit of technical explanation. So this is focus. Where focus goes, energy flows. Now, what I do with my BSA, I know focusing is the challenge of the century. I think being focused will only get more difficult the more advanced we become with technology. So the more technology advances in our society, the more we're going to struggle with focusing. Look around. How many apps can you find nowadays that will help you focus, that will help you concentrate? How many meditation apps are focusing on mindfulness, focusing, organizing your thoughts? Why? Because this is the problem of the future. Actually, this is the problem of the present. And the more advanced technology we get, the more difficult it'll be to focus. Look at how many channels on YouTube are available. How many people are fighting for your attention. Right now, I'm fighting for your attention. 20, 30 years ago, finding a lesson like this one for free would be excruciatingly difficult. Nearly impossible to have a lesson like this. Like I have like 700 lessons on my channel. 30 years ago, that was impossible to find. So the world is changing. We fight for your attention because we know how hard it is to focus these days. There are so many things to do, so many places to be, so many responsibilities. Not to mention emotional intelligence that is getting worse and worse by the minute, okay? So with my students, I teach them to focus. And organization is also mandatory. Because if you're like, okay, I'm ready to study, let's focus. But your study routine is completely disorganized, you're wasting your time. You won't be focused. You won't be able to get much done. That's why I help my students. They have an organized practice. Everything they need to do is in my academy. Reading, listening, writing, vocabulary, speaking exercises. We have challenges. We have workshops. Because I keep them in a space where they have everything they need, including brain activities to help them focus. Because I know that's what they need, okay? Now, guys, the second tip. And this is very important, okay? Tips number 2, number 3, and the bonus tip. Okay? Now, focus on mastery, not on relative performance. Very important here, okay? What is that supposed to mean? Let me explain relative performance and mastery. Relative performance is when you compare your results with other people's results, or with results that you hear in movies or, in documentaries, in shows, with groups of people, with professionals, with teachers. So you begin to make comparisons. So maybe you have a friend who learned English in 3 months. I learned English in 6 months. But I know people who learned in 4 months. I know people who learned in 10 months. I know people that are still learning, and it's been 10, 15 years. If you use relative performance, you will not activate your memory. When it comes to vocabulary learning, okay? What you need to do, you need to focus on mastery. You need to focus on developing your own competence. Because when you distract your energy and you focus on what other people are getting, oh, but my friend knows more vocabulary than I do. Oh, so that means my vocabulary is bad. No, it's not. Focus on your performance. Focus on your competence. When you focus on your growth, personal development, and confidence, you change your focus. And always keep in mind that mastery is a long-term game, not a short-term one. So you shouldn't study words for a week and they think they should learn. I have so many BSA in my academy. They follow the schedule, okay? This is like a schedule I give my students in the academy. And then they follow for a month. And then they send me messages because I always talk to them. They're like, oh, teacher, but I don't remember so many words. And I was like, dude, this is a long-term game. I'm teaching you how to master your English. There are so many new words in every lesson. You will not remember all of them. That's not the game we're playing. We're playing the game of fluency. We're playing the game of communication. We're not playing the game of machines. Of, oh, I have to know all of them. No. Okay? And this is what you need to understand. It is a long term. My students stay with me for a year. And after that, they are completely prepared to talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. But does the work end? Absolutely not. The work is only getting started. But now they know how to work. They unlocked their fluency. So this is focusing on mastery, not on performance. Because performance, relative performance, is a horrible way to measure your results. And we even have temporary performance. Today, I didn't wake up feeling so well. An example, I'm great. But let's say I didn't wake up feeling so well. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. My performance will go down this day. Why? Because performance is relative. It's always relative, okay? And that is something it's important for you to understand. So as I tell my babies, they have vocabulary in every module of the program. But the goal is not to make them memorize words and go to the next lesson. I memorized the words, now I go to the next. No. The goal is to improve the mastery, encode the words into their life context, and gradually increase their repertoire. If I look at myself today and compare to 20 years ago, my English is much better. But could I speak when I learned English in 6 months? Yes, absolutely. Anyone, anywhere, anytime. I could talk to native speakers. I could understand movies. I got a job as an assistant. But my English level was much lower. But I could talk to people in English. No problems. My mastery was in progress. And if you ask me today, am I completely satisfied? No, never. But I know that the journey keeps going, okay? The journey only keeps getting better. And I know that 1 year from now, I'll be better. 2 years from now, what? I'll be much better. And this is what I teach my babies. Keep that in mind. Connect English with your life. And every year, you will be better. A better version of yourself if you're following the right method. And speaking of which, to support my channel, make sure to hit the like button. You know, it helps the channel. Share. When you share, the angels are like, ooh, she's so cool. The algorithms from YouTube is like, people are sharing this lesson. So let's help this girl. Let's show this video to other people. Yes. And you are also doing your part in society because you're paying it forward. You're helping someone you believe will benefit from this lesson, okay? So smash that subscribe and share button. And guys, if you want more things from me, you know, I have an excellent study plan that will help you stay organized. That is a way to support my channel and get a study plan that will really show you how to stay more organized. My listening mastery will also show you the best practices to master your listening, okay? There is a listening plan that will help you, that will show you how to implement my recommendations. I'm sure you're gonna like this, guys, okay? This is the perfect combo, actually. I have my academy, which is like the best, okay? Not open right now. It'll open on Sunday, by the way, January 22nd. It's temporary. It doesn't open all the day, every day, all the time. And these guys are also really cool. But let's keep going because the focus is this. Tip number 3. Let me drink some water. Eliminate multiple choice practices and include contextual clues. This is a little technical, so I'm going to read this to you, okay? According to researchers and professor of psychology at the University of Oregon, a multiple choice practice impacts negatively long-term retention because it gives students reminders of the right answer. That way, you don't force your brain to recall. Recall is a synonym for remember, okay? We need to search our memory alone and not see the help of multiple choices that will weaken. Weaken is a verb. It's the opposite of strengthen, to make stronger. Weaken is to make weaker, the opposite of strong. So if you use multiple choice activities, you will weaken your ability to remember. I don't remember the name of the psychologist. I will check it out of the professor, okay? I wrote it down, but I forgot. I will get it and then I'll find it and I'll post in the comments or something, okay? Now, guys, in a nutshell, what is that supposed to mean? One common practice students have with vocabulary, and I sometimes use it. I will not be a hypocrite, okay? I sometimes use it. The problem is if you only use that, is to have multiple choices. Oh, what is the meaning of strong? Option A, option B, option C, option D. This is multiple choice. And according to this research and this professor of psychology at the University of Oregon, and I don't remember his name, but because I was reading and I didn't write it down, I always study the lessons that I give you, okay? That's nice. What happens? You are helping your brain. You're not letting your brain do the work alone. Go and search inside your memory, go around and hey, what is that? Oh my God, what is this? What's this process of finding the answer? You eliminate that when I give you options because then you will focus on the options, okay? And this is very dangerous to weaken your memory. Now, as I said, I sometimes use it, okay? What I'm trying to tell you is decrease this. Try to eliminate as much as possible. And instead of using this kind of multiple choices to study vocabulary, try to include the analysis of answers. Oh, what is strong? No options. I have to discover what strong is. I have to use my brain to recall. And that's when I include the tip, include contextual clues, because this will help you find the information more quickly. And what is that supposed to mean? Contextual clues means, for that, it is important to understand how your learning channels work. By the way, this week we're having the Fluent in 6 workshop. So today in episode 2, I just made it available. I talk about the learning channels. Check them out. Now, whether you are a visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, it is important to use context in your learning practice. So whenever you study vocabulary, you need to activate your creativity so that you can find better ways to connect the new words with your life. Whether you are visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, you need to use these channels to study the words to memorize the words you're studying, to review, to practice. This is what I include with my BSA in my academy. And here I have a message from a student. She was finishing the academy actually. She was in module 22 and then she was so excited because in module 22 she told me, teacher, I really had a great experience doing module 22 because I was able to associate it with my career. When I read the proposed vocabulary, drop out, cutting edge, do your share, I immediately imagined Bill Gates. Thank you, teacher. Have a good weekend. So what did she do here? Ooh, she gave a contextual clue to her vocabulary practice. And when studying, she associated the new words she was learning with her admiration for Bill Gates. And all the examples she created for me on the platform, because she posted her examples for me there, were connected with her work, with her career, and with her admiration for Bill Gates. And all because of the lesson, the words she learned. And I have different students, they share different experiences with the vocabulary they study because they include contextual clue. They learn a word and then they have to, okay, how am I going to put this in my life? How can I create a situation to connect this word with my life? That's activating your channels, activating your memory and emotions. And this is just one part. We even have the visual, auditory, and kinesthetic channels to explore. Some students are more visual, some students auditory, some students kinesthetic. Watch episode 2 from my Fluent in 6 workshop. I don't know if it's still available. Maybe you're watching the replay of this lesson many years later. So I don't know. But as of now, January 18th, 2023, it's available, okay? Now, bonus tip, quiz as a way to review. Another way to strengthen your long-term memory is by quizzing yourself. And this is a great activity for you to do in pairs, okay? If you have a friend who speaks some English, try to do this with a friend. Teacher, I don't have a friend. Don't worry. I did this all my life by myself. Okay? When I read this in the science research, because there is a scientific research that talks about quizzes, okay? I was like, I already did that for a very long time. When I was a beginner, I already did that. But not the quiz of multiple options, okay? The multiple choice, no. This is the quiz, oral quiz. What's this? Explain this. Say this. Use this right now. That's the quiz I'm talking about. This will help you activate your long-term memory, okay? And improve contextualization. But as I said, no multiple choice. Ask yourself questions in which you have to explain things, create examples, tell synonyms, antonyms, opposites, etc. So, for example, I'm learning a word. Oh, strong. What's the opposite of strong? That's a quiz. Oh, what is a synonym of strong? Create an example with the strong. Talk about someone who is strong. That's a quiz. So this is a way to review. Sometimes the students ask me, teacher, how can I review words? A quiz. This is a good way to review vocabulary by using quizzes, by quizzing yourself. So you can do this orally, because sometimes the students only want to write again. This is review. I'm writing again. Okay, but this is not the best way to do it. You can do it. I do it too sometimes. You write it again, but quizzing yourself on the spot. Oh, what's this? Oh, what's hand cap? Oh, what is that? Oh, what's that vocabulary? Put up with. Bring down. Bring up. And then on the spot, create an example. Oh, what's the opposite of this? How do you describe a scandal? Can you tell me a story about a scandal? And they're like, scandal, what's that? Connecting. So this is a way to review. So when I'm learning new words and I am on review day, I do this orally. I quiz myself. I've been doing this for a very long time. I ask myself questions like, hey, what is this? What's that? What is an example? What's the opposite of this? Do I know anyone who is eccentric? Oh, I do. I know that woman. She's a nice girl. I like her very much, but she is eccentric. You know, eccentric, actually. So this is a good way to do so, okay? Now, guys, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Make sure to share it with your friends, hit the like button, subscribe, and other than that, I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.